Greetings, YouTube. Today we're looking at Poetry of the Universe, a mathematical exploration of the cosmos by Robert Osserman. I love this. Physically, I find this book quite attractive. I like the kind of the rough edge, page edge kind of thing. I like that. I like the cover design with this nice little border just on two sides. It's a nice size and it was quite pleasant to hold and read. Sometimes part of the enjoyment of a book is its pure tactical experience, and occasionally even the booky smell. As the cover says, this is a book dealing with mathematics and cosmology. In particular, the shape of the universe and how our understanding of the shape of our planet helped us have an understanding of the shape of the universe. And this is the best explanation I have ever encountered for why we're on a planet that isn't flat. So if you know anyone out there, other than the contrarians, who are flat earthers simply because they want to dick with people, but if you know anyone who is a genuine flat earther, buy them a copy of this book. Because it explains how 2,400 years ago, the Greeks figured out we were on a spheroid. They thought it was a sphere. And they got the size with incredible accuracy. They were off by a percentage or two. Just amazing. Excellent job, boys. And part of that is because we're not 100% sure what units of measurement they were using, so there was a little fudge factor. But still, really close to what it actually is. And it's spheroid. It's not spherical because it's wider at the equator than it is across the poles. But it shows how we figured this out, and then it shows how they were able to get more accuracy in later dates, and how different researchers and great cartographers were able to figure out more accurate methods by using triangulation, and how you figure out what the angles are of a triangle depending if you are on a plane or if you are on a positive curved surface or a negative curved surface. All very fascinating. Now, while this does deal with math, the math is light. It's a lot of verbal explanation of the math. There aren't a lot of formula in here. He's not tossing formulas at you. I once heard Stephen Hawking said that his editors told him, for every formula you put in your book, you will lose half your readership, which is why he only stuck with one, E equals mc squared. He puts a few more in here. I don't think he lost many, because again, in context, it makes a lot of sense. And one of the nice things about this is this guy takes wonderful baby steps from the Greek era, and then it shows to the next stage, and the next stage, and the next stage, and how we built our understanding of our planet's shape, which then helped us understand the shape of our galaxy and eventually to the shape of the universe. And he makes references back to earlier things that he had talked about. So instead of depending on the reader to kind of keep the tally in their head, he's calling back to previous information he'd given you before, so that he kind of refreshes what you say. This thing I'm talking about now is linked to this thing I talked about 3 chapters ago. And the similarities are thus. So since I've explained that and you understood the chapter 3 thing, you now understand the chapter 6 thing. Very well done. Awesome explanations. It is not 100% up to date. I think this was printed in 1994, and he was predicting that the universe was 20 billion light years in diameter, and we now know it's probably closer to 92 billion. But at the time, they did not have the expansion theory worked out at all. So they didn't know that was a thing. Also, he's talking about the fact that the universe was slowing down because of the gravitational force, and our current understanding, at least as far as I know, is that the expansion of the universe is actually accelerating, and the expansion of the universe is actually moving faster than the speed of light, which it can do because the universe is not constrained by that. Only light moving within the universe is restrained, or objects are restrained by the speed of light. So the universe itself can accelerate at any speed that the fabric of the universe allows it to, which means that even if you could move at the speed of light, you could never go from one side to the other, or even from where you are now to the edge, because it's moving and expanding faster and faster and faster. And we don't understand why yet. And we also don't quite understand if we are going to have a big crunch, or eventually it's just going to keep spreading out, and you have the eventual heat death of the universe. He does mention that in here, that we don't know which it is. I still love the big crunch idea. I kind of like, boing, boing. I kind of like that idea. Not saying it's going to happen. And particularly, he did not really discuss string theory, let alone M theory, membrane theory, which is far after this book was published. But if you want a wonderful step-by-step explanation about how we have an understanding of why the universe is the shape it is, and a wonderful way to drive a stake through the heart of flat Earth bull, here you go. The Poetry of the Universe is the book that you need to pick up. Hey, even Mandarin agrees.